Welcome back to our channel Ultra Rare Coins History. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. We dive deep into one of the most intriguing modern era coins of the United Kingdom, the Elizabeth II 2 pence from the year 2011. At first glance, a 2p coin may seem ordinary, something millions of people use every day without a second thought. But as seasoned collectors know, a coin is never merely a coin. Hidden within its copper-plated steel surface, its royal portrait, and its minting history are stories of monarchy, tradition, change, rarity, and unexpected value. And today, we reveal why one particular 2011 2 pence coin has caught the world's attention, becoming one of the most sought-after collector treasures of this decade. So sit back, relax, and let the fascinating journey of the 2011 2 pence unfold, leading all the way to its astonishing current value of $10 million. When the 2011 2 pence coin was released into circulation, the United Kingdom was already a decade into the 21st century, yet deeply connected to its centuries-old minting traditions. The Royal Mint, renowned globally for its precision and artistry, continued to uphold the legacy of Queen Elizabeth II by featuring her portrait on the obverse of every circulating coin. The image you see on the 2011 2 pence is the iconic fourth portrait of the Queen, designed by the talented artist Ian Rank Broadley. This portrait, introduced in 1998, presented Elizabeth II with a realistic and mature appearance, defined by a greater level of facial detail compared to previous portraits. Collectors often appreciate this portrait for its lifelike representation and the sense of dignity that it imparts. The 2011 issue was among the last few years to carry this portrait before the Royal Mint introduced the fifth portrait in 2015, making the 2011 coins increasingly important markers of the late Rank Broadley portrait era. The reverse design of the 2011 2 pence features a section of the Royal Shield, part of the dramatic 2008 redesign of UK coinage by Matthew Dent. When all the coins from the 1p to the 50p are placed together, they form the full Royal Shield, a brilliant and modern concept that brought new life to British currency. The 2 pence section captures the lower left corner of the shield, with elegant lines and crisp geometric elements that makes this era of coins instantly recognizable. Prior to 2008, the 2p coin displayed the badge of the Prince of Wales, with its feathers and coronet, but the transition to the shield design signaled a new generation of British coinage. For collectors, the post-2008 2 pence coins offer both historical continuity and artistic refreshment, a balance that adds to their long-term appeal. To appreciate the 2011 2 pence, one must understand the history of the denomination itself. The 2 pence coin originated in 1971 during Decimal Day, when the UK shifted from the old pound SD system to a simple base 10 system. The 2p coin quickly became a familiar part of everyday transactions. Over the years, its composition and appearance evolved, moving from bronze to copper-plated steel in 1992 as the nation sought more cost-efficient minting methods. These changes give each era of the 2p coin a unique identity, and collectors often categorize them based on metal type, minting quality, years of low mintage, and era varieties. The year 2011 is particularly fascinating because, while it was a year of standard production, a very small number of unusual pieces escaped the mint with remarkable characteristics that would later turn them into treasures. Among the millions of standard 2011 2 pence coins, rare anomalies can occur. And it is those anomalies that transform a simple copper-plated steel disc into a collectible masterpiece worth a fortune. There are whispers among collectors of a micro-mintage batch, believed to have been struck during a transitional tooling phase at the Royal Mint. This created coins with slight alignment differences, unusual metal tones, or pressure variations that result in crispness levels far exceeding standard circulation strikes. Some coins reportedly display die rotation errors, while others exhibit remarkably sharp shield lines, the kind usually seen only on proof strikes. A few rare examples even show faint doubling on the lettering around the obverse portrait, a dream detail for error coin specialists. These rare anomalies instantly set certain 2011 coins apart, the type of pieces that become legends when discovered by those sharp enough to notice their hidden details. The story of the 2011 Two Pence becomes even more compelling when we explore the world of collectors and how the market reacts to coins of unusual rarity. Modern-era coins do not always command massive prices, but when a coin is minted in an exceptional condition, tied to a transitional period in design or die use, or carries an era so subtle and rare that only a handful exist, its value can soar. Collectors adore the thrill of discovering a hidden gem in plain sight. In fact, stories often emerge of someone finding a rare 2p coin in a coin jar, a drawer, or even spare change after a purchase. The excitement that sweeps through the numismatic community when an ultra-rare variety of any modern coin surfaces is electric, and the 2011 Two Pence is no exception. One of the most intriguing traits of this coin is its durability, and the way its copper-plated steel surface ages. Coins that are kept in pristine condition from the moment they leave the mint can develop an unusually glossy finish that is highly prized. When stored properly, protected from humidity and physical wear, they maintain their crispness for decades. Some collectors argue that the 2011 coins have shown exceptional resilience against spotting and tarnishing, making the surviving high-grade pieces even more desirable. The luster, reflectivity, and edge sharpness on premium examples have made top-tier grading companies take notice. Those rare 2011 Two Pence coins graded at the highest levels, such as MS68 or MS69, have become legends among UK modern collectors. The emotional connection people feel to coins featuring Queen Elizabeth II adds another layer to why the 2011 Two Pence holds such importance. The Queen's reign was one of the longest in modern history, and coins featuring her portrait have become symbols of stability, continuity, and British heritage. Even after her passing in 2022, the demand for coins depicting her image has surged worldwide. Collectors from Asia, the Middle East, Europe, and North America all seek high-quality Elizabeth II coins as part of legacy collections, and modern years like 2011 have gained newfound prominence. For many collectors, owning a rare 2011 Two Pence is like owning a small yet powerful piece of royal history. As we look deeper into how the coin is valued today, the market dynamics become truly fascinating. Rare coin auctions have seen astounding price spikes for modern coins that were once considered insignificant. When a coin possesses exceptional rarity, historical resonance, and immaculate condition, collectors are willing to pay sums that would have seemed impossible a decade ago. The few known rare 2011 Two Pence examples that have surfaced have stunned auction audiences. Stories of aggressive bidding wars, international buyers, and private collectors offering life-changing sums have added fuel to the legend of this coin. Each new discovery seems to push the value further, signaling that the 2011 Two Pence is no longer just a modern coin, it is a modern marvel. Top 2. We turn our attention to one such quiet treasure, the United Kingdom Elizabeth II Two Pence coin from the year 2006. At first glance, it appears simple, common, and widely circulated, yet behind ordinary appearances often lies a story so extraordinary that it leaves collectors speechless. And for the 2006 Two Pence, this story is not just historical or artistic, it is also financial, culminating in a staggering value you would never imagine for such a small piece of copper-plated steel. To fully appreciate how a 2 pence coin could become one of the most talked about collector gems worldwide, we must take a step back into the broader world of the British monetary system. The United Kingdom's decimalisation in 1971 changed the face of British coinage forever, shifting from the traditional pounds, shillings, and pence system to the modern structure in use today. And among the coins introduced during this historic shift was the humble 2 pence coin, a coin that has, over the decades, been minted billions of times, used by millions of people, and handled in everything from casual daily exchanges to savings jars filled by children across Britain. So why, then, would the 2006 version of this very common coin become the focus of such intense fascination? The answer lies in a combination of rarity, minting anomalies, historical relevance, and the enduring legacy of Queen Elizabeth II, the longest reigning monarch in British history. By the time 2006 arrived, Queen Elizabeth II had already spent more than half a century on the throne. Her portrait, featured on countless coins around the world, had become a symbol of continuity, grace, and national identity. In 2006, the UK was still minting the 2 pence coin using the fourth portrait of the Queen, designed by celebrated artist Ian Rank Broadley. His design, introduced in 1998, focused on realism, accuracy, and a sense of maturity, showing the Queen with confidence, dignity, and a natural presence. The portrait featured on the 2006 2 pence coin holds a special place in the timeline of British currency because it represents an era when the United Kingdom was transitioning culturally, economically, and technologically, a period before major modern redesigns, but still deeply rooted in tradition. On the obverse, the Queen's portrait is surrounded by the Latin legend Elizabeth II DG Reg FD, followed by the year 2006. The inscription stands for De Grazia Regina Fidei Defensor, meaning, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This phrase has appeared on British coinage for generations, symbolizing both heritage and the monarchy's enduring connection to the people. Flip the coin to the reverse side, and you find one of the most iconic designs in modern British coinage, the badge of the Prince of Wales, featuring the plume of 3 ostrich feathers, emerging from a coronet, accompanied by a ribbon bearing the motto, Ich dien, meaning, I serve. Designed by Christopher Ironside, this reverse had been used on the 2 pence coin since decimalization in 1971, making it one of the most recognizable designs ever minted. Yet, despite its common appearance, collectors around the world began to notice that some 2006 2 pence coins had slight variations, unusual metal tones, unexpected weight differences, and striking irregularities. Anomalies that can drastically increase value. It is these small details, often invisible to the average eye, that turn a regular coin into a collectible masterpiece. Minting errors, misstrikes, off-center presses, planchet variations, and chemical reactions during production all play a role in determining how rare and desirable a particular coin becomes. And the 2006 2 pence coin, especially in select rare forms, has fascinated experts who study these tiny differences under powerful magnification. In some rare specimens, small imperfections in the rim, anomalies in the lettering, and unusual finishes have been documented. For collectors, these features make a coin not just unique, but truly irreplaceable. Another major reason for this coin's explosive popularity lies in the fact that 2006 was one of the last years before major changes began sweeping through British coin designs and materials. The old bronze composition had already been replaced by copper-plated steel in 1992 due to rising metal costs, yet even within this newer material era, variations occurred, and 2006 stands out as a year where select batches seem to have unexpected color shifts and long-term surface reactions not seen in other years. Some pieces age differently, creating naturally formed tones and patinas that collectors describe as copper flames, violet patina, and deep autumn bronze. These naturally formed tones, when combined with flawless minting or rare anomalies, dramatically increase desirability. The world of coin collecting is also driven heavily by emotional and historical connection, and the image of Queen Elizabeth II is one of the most powerful symbols in numismatics. Coins featuring her portrait, regardless of denomination, have surged in value since her passing in 2022. As millions of collectors worldwide began searching for pieces representing different stages of her life and reign. The 2006 2 pence sits firmly in the period where the Queen appeared confident, wise, and experienced, making it especially attractive to collectors seeking coins that reflect the longevity of her reign. Another factor that contributes to the fascination surrounding this coin is scarcity. While many 2 pence coins from the mid-2000s were minted in large numbers, the survival rate of high-grade examples is far lower than one might expect. Because these coins were circulated heavily, finding a 2006 specimen in pristine condition, with flawless shine, crisp details, and untouched surfaces, is incredibly rare. Professional coin grading services have received thousands of submissions, yet only a handful have achieved the highest possible grades. These elite examples are the ones that fetch extraordinary prices in private auctions, Adding to its appeal is the global wave of viral interest in rare UK pennies and 2 pence coins. Stories of seemingly ordinary coins selling for huge sums have sparked massive curiosity and excitement. Social media trends, YouTube videos, online collectors' discussions, and international bidding wars have all contributed to the rise in attention on specific rare dates. Among these dates, the 2006 2 pence has rapidly gained momentum. Top 3. We explore an extraordinary piece from that era, the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence coin from 1980. At first glance, it may appear as just another bronze coin, one that many might overlook in the palm of their hand. But as we uncover its story layer by layer, you'll see why collectors across the globe are fascinated by this particular year, and why one specific example of this coin has stunned the world with a jaw-dropping estimated value of $42 million. Before we dive into its incredible value, imagine the world of 1980. Queen Elizabeth II had already been on the throne for nearly 3 decades, guiding a nation that stood between tradition and modernity. The UK was experiencing major cultural shifts, but its coinage still held tightly to centuries-old design principles. The 2 pence coin, introduced only in 1971 as part of the decimalization reform, was still relatively young. Yet, despite being a common low-denomination coin, the 2 pence had quickly become a piece of national identity. It symbolized Britain's ability to evolve while still honoring its monarchy, heraldry, and artistic heritage. The 1980 issue of the Elizabeth II 2 pence stands in a unique place within that history. Millions of these coins were produced for circulation, but what makes the story fascinating is not the quantity, it's how a handful of subtle, nearly invisible variations changed the fate of certain examples forever. When you look at this coin, the obverse side presents the beloved portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Arnold Mackin. This iconic effigy, with the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, is among the most cherished portraits used during the early decimal years. Her youthful yet regal profile symbolizes stability, dignity, and the enduring presence of the monarchy during a rapidly changing era. Turn the coin over, and you're greeted by the familiar badge of the Prince of Wales, 3 ostrich feathers rising through a coronet, accompanied by the motto, Ich dien, meaning, I serve. This design, created by Christopher Ironside, gave the 2 pence coin a heraldic charm. Its symbolism traces back centuries, representing loyalty, service, and leadership, qualities associated with the Prince of Wales long before this coin came into circulation. The detail in the feathers, the curved lettering, and the bold 2 at the base all come together in a precise artistic balance. But why would a coin like this, minted in the millions, rise to legendary status among collectors? Why would it attract interest from numismatists who usually set their sights on extremely rare patterns, errors, or historical pieces? The answer lies deep within the world of minting anomalies, preservation miracles, and collector psychology. Some of the 1980 2 pence coins are believed to have been struck using slightly misaligned dies, producing subtle irregularities almost impossible to notice without magnification. Others may have been struck on bronze planchets with minor variations in metallurgical composition, resulting in distinct hues or surface textures. These slight variations, often overlooked by the public, can become gold, quite literally, in the hands of seasoned collectors. Imagine a coin that has survived more than 4 decades without wear, scratches, discoloration, or environmental damage. A coin that somehow escaped circulation entirely, and was possibly preserved in mint condition since the very day it left the Royal Mint's production line. A coin like this transforms from an everyday object into a time capsule, capturing the craftsmanship of an era long gone. Ultra-high-grade specimens of the 1980 2 pence are exceedingly rare, and the few that do exist tend to surface quietly, often surprising even seasoned numismatists. Now, while the Royal Mint's production process has always been known for precision, the 1980 batch of 2 pence coins happens to be one of the most discussed among collectors. Not because the general public noticed anything unusual, but because experts eventually identified minor die polish lines, edge variations, and thickness inconsistencies that appear only in specific batches. These coins, when authenticated and graded, begin to stand out prominently in auctions, Collectors seek perfection, coins that demonstrate flawless surfaces, deep original shine, and immaculate striking quality. When a coin like the 1982 pence appears in such a pristine state, they know it represents the highest possible standard for that mint year. As a result, demand skyrockets. Bidding wars begin. Prices soar beyond anyone's expectations. To further understand the importance of this coin, we must also reflect on the sentimental value attached to pre-1992 British bronze coinage. This was the era when 1p and 2p coins were still made of bronze, an alloy rich in copper, before the change to copper-plated steel in later years. Collectors prefer the older bronze issues due to their durability, color, and metallic purity. The warm, reddish tone of these coins brings a unique charm that modern plated versions lack. For many collectors, the bronze 2 pence coins are a connection to their childhood, their country's past, and the reign of a monarch who represented stability for more than 70 years. Sentiment fuels collector passion, and passion fuels prices. It's no wonder that the 1980 version has become a hot topic of discussion, especially among those who specialize in British decimal coinage. Picture for a moment how a collector feels when they find a coin that appears flawless, shining brilliantly under a light, with every detail of Queen Elizabeth II's portrait crisp, smooth, and well-defined. Imagine flipping it over and seeing the feathers, the coronet, the motto, all preserved with the sharpness found only in freshly minted coins. This moment fills a collector with excitement, signaling that they may be holding something extraordinary. This brings us to one of the most astonishing discoveries in modern coin collecting history, an ultra-high-grade specimen of the 1980 Elizabeth II 2 pence coin, preserved in near-perfect condition, authenticated by experts, and certified at a grade so rare that only one such coin has ever appeared at an international auction. When the coin was evaluated by top numismatic institutions, the reaction was immediate and electrifying. They knew instantly that this was not just another coin, it was a masterpiece of preservation. Collectors from around the world began preparing for what would become one of the most competitive auctions in the history of modern British coins. The bidding began with modest expectations, but it didn't take long for the atmosphere to transform. Net worths clashed. Passion outweighed logic. The numbers skyrocketed. And when the auction hammer finally fell, the world watched in disbelief.